What if I told you that the air inside your home is up to 10 times more polluted than the air outside? And what if I told you that scientists have already discovered a solution so powerful, so breathtakingly simple, that you probably walked right past it at your local store this week without giving it a second glance? I'm talking about houseplants, but not just any houseplants. Today, I'm revealing the 15 most powerful plants you can keep in your home for instant health benefits. Plants that purify your air, strengthen your lungs, sharpen your focus, crush your stress, and even help your body heal faster than you ever thought possible. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which plants to bring home, where to place them in your space, and how they'll turn your home into the ultimate health sanctuary. Let's dive in. Counting down from number 15, chrysanthemum. We're opening this list with a plant that earns its place on this list in more ways than one. NASA's research flagged the chrysanthemum, or mum as most people call it, as one of the most effective flowering air purifiers you can own. It targets benzene specifically, a chemical that hides in glue, paint, plastics, and most household detergents. If you've recently redecorated a room or bought new furniture, benzene is almost certainly present in that space, and chrysanthemums go straight to work on it. But there's a second layer to this plant that's easy to overlook. The bold, warm colors, the yellows, oranges, deep reds, have documented psychological effects. Color therapy isn't something I made up. Research consistently links exposure to vibrant, natural color with elevated mood and reduced symptoms of low-grade depression. So you get cleaner air and a genuine emotional lift in one pot. The blooms last around 6 weeks before the plant needs replacing or moving outside. Use that window well. Number 14, Boston fern. If your home runs dry, forced air heating in winter, poor ventilation, that stale, scratchy feeling in your throat every morning, then number 14 is going to feel like a revelation. Boston ferns are natural humidifiers, and serious ones at that. A single Boston fern can raise the humidity level in a room by 10% or more. That might not sound dramatic, but if you've been waking up with dry skin, irritated sinuses, or a persistent sore throat that mysteriously clears up when you leave the house, low indoor humidity is likely the culprit, and this plant directly addresses it. It also filters formaldehyde, the most widespread indoor air pollutant, with impressive efficiency. If you've moved into a new home recently or brought in new furniture, this fern should be near the top of your shopping list. It does appreciate a bit of extra care. It likes humidity and indirect light and benefits from misting. But hang it in a basket near a window, especially in a bathroom, and it rewards you with lush, full, cascading growth that makes any space feel like a retreat. Number 13, pothos. Here's the plant for everyone who has ever said, "I can't keep plants alive." Pothos, also called devil's ivy, which has always felt a bit unfair for something so gentle, is one of the most resilient living things you can bring into your home. Low light, bright light, dry spells, inconsistent watering, it handles all of it without complaint. And while it's forgiving in terms of care, it is absolutely not passive when it comes to your air quality. Pothos actively filters formaldehyde, benzene, and xylene from the air around it. The long, trailing vines create a stunning cascading effect over bookshelves, cabinets, or hanging planters. And because they grow quickly, one plant can fill a significant amount of space within a few months. Beginners love it. Experienced plant owners love it. Frequent travelers love it. If your home needs cleaner air and you need a plant that won't punish you for being busy, pothos is the answer. Keep it out of reach of pets, though. Toxic if chewed. Number 12, gerbera daisy. Most people don't expect a daisy to show up on a health list, but the gerbera daisy earns its spot through genuine science. Like a small number of very special plants, gerbera daisies release oxygen at night rather than during the day, which makes them unusually effective in a bedroom setting. While you sleep, this plant is refreshing the air around you. It also filters benzene and trichloroethylene, two chemicals commonly released by synthetic materials in dry-cleaned clothing. And then there's the mood piece, because it matters. The research on how our visual environment affects our emotional state is clear. Bright, cheerful colors in your daily surroundings reduce cortisol, elevate mood, and over time genuinely influence how you feel about the space you're in.
A pot of gerbera daisies on a windowsill is not a small thing. It's a daily signal to your nervous system that things are okay. They need decent light to bloom at their best, but everything this plant gives back more than justifies a sunny spot. Put one in your living room. It will become the most talked about thing in that space, and your air will be cleaner for it. Number 11. Bamboo palm. There is something about a bamboo palm that immediately shifts the energy of a room. Maybe it's the height. Maybe it's the tropical fullness of it. Whatever it is, people consistently respond to this plant emotionally before they even know what it does for their health. And what it does is impressive. Bamboo palms are particularly effective at targeting benzene and trichloroethylene, two chemicals embedded in building materials, synthetic furnishings, and adhesives. They also release meaningful amounts of moisture into the air, which makes them especially useful during dry winter months when heating systems strip all the humidity out of your home. And crucially, they do all of this in low light. You don't need a sun-drenched room. You just need a corner with some ambient light and enough floor space, because these palms can grow 6 to 12 feet tall indoors. They're also completely non-toxic to pets, which for animal lovers is a significant win. Put one in your living room. It will become the most talked about thing in that space, and your air will be cleaner for it.
Number 10. Dracaena. With over 40 varieties to choose from, there is a Dracaena for virtually every home, every room, and every aesthetic. Tall and dramatic, or compact and low profile, deep green or boldly striped, the variety is extraordinary. But what remains consistent across the entire Dracaena family is its ability to filter xylene, trichloroethylene, and formaldehyde from the air. These are chemicals released by lacquers, varnishes, and, importantly, gasoline. If you have an attached garage or even a room that shares a wall with one, Dracaena is particularly valuable. Gasoline fumes migrate through walls more than most people realize, and Dracaena is one of the few plants that specifically addresses that. They're adaptable to different light levels, grow beautifully over time, and ask for very little maintenance. The one thing to know, they are toxic to cats and dogs, so keep them in pet-free rooms. In the right space, though, Dracaena is one of the most reliable long-term investments you can make in your home's air quality. Number 8. Areca palm. The areca palm, also called the butterfly palm, is consistently ranked among the very best indoor plants for whole home air quality, and it absolutely deserves that reputation. It's particularly strong against formaldehyde, and it releases steady moisture into the air throughout the day, helping regulate humidity in a way that benefits your skin, your respiratory system, and your overall comfort. It creates that warm, easy, almost resort-like atmosphere in a room, the kind of space you actually want to spend time in. And unlike several of the most effective air purifiers on this list, the areca palm is completely safe for pets. For households with animals, that combination of performance and safety is hard to beat. It thrives in bright, indirect light and appreciates regular watering. Give it what it needs and it grows into something genuinely beautiful while quietly doing some of the most important work in your home. Number 8. Rubber plant. The rubber plant is one of those quiet overachievers that never quite gets the recognition it deserves. In terms of removing formaldehyde from the air, it rivals almost anything else on this list, and it does it in low light, which sets it apart. Most high-performing air purifiers need bright conditions to function well. The rubber plant doesn't. It thrives in dimmer rooms, making it perfect for apartments, north-facing rooms, or any space that doesn't get much natural light. Studies have also found that rubber plants can reduce the concentration of airborne bacteria and mold spores in the surrounding air, which is significant for anyone dealing with allergies, asthma, or recurring respiratory issues. The large, waxy, deep green leaves look bold and elegant in any space. Wipe them down with a damp cloth occasionally to keep them dust-free, and they'll perform at full capacity. One plant in a dim corner of your living room or office is working hard.
Number 7. Spider plant. Don't sleep on number 7. The spider plant might look unassuming, but the data behind it is genuinely remarkable. Research has shown that spider plants are capable of removing up to 90% of the toxins in a room within just 48 hours. That number is not a typo. 90% in 2 days. It's particularly effective against carbon monoxide and formaldehyde, the kind of pollutants that enter your home through new furniture, fresh paint, and carpeting. But one of the most practical things about spider plants is how effortlessly they multiply. Those small trailing offshoots that dangle from the mother plant can be snipped, placed in water, and grown into entirely new plants in a matter of weeks, completely free. You could start with one plant and have 6 within a couple of months, placed throughout every room in your home. They're also completely non-toxic to pets, which makes them one of the most universally safe choices on this entire list. Now listen, I want to pause here for a second because I know some of you might be watching this thinking, okay, but I'm the person who kills every plant they've ever owned. I hear you, I've been there, but here's what I want you to understand. The plants failing on you wasn't really about you, it was about the wrong plant in the wrong place with the wrong expectations. Everything on this list has been chosen partly because of how forgiving and adaptable it is to real home environments and real busy lives. Keep going. The top 6 on this countdown are the ones I get the most questions about, and for good reason. Number 6, English ivy. NASA ranked English ivy as the #1 air-filtering houseplant in their entire study. #1. And when you understand why, it makes complete sense. English ivy is extraordinarily effective at removing airborne mold spores and, let's just say it plainly, microscopic fecal particles that float through the air in homes, particularly in bathrooms and basement spaces. Studies show it can reduce airborne mold concentrations by up to 94% within 12 hours. If you have allergies, if you have asthma, if you live somewhere humid, or if your bathroom has poor airflow, English ivy is not optional, it's essential. It looks stunning trailing from a hanging basket or climbing a small trellis, and it's one of the easier plants to grow and maintain. Keep it away from pets and children as it's toxic if ingested, but in a bathroom or bedroom, it's one of the most powerful health tools on this entire list. Number 5, aloe vera. Aloe vera deserves far more credit than it typically gets as a health plant. Most people know the gel, the burn soother, the skin savior, and yes, keeping an aloe plant in your kitchen for exactly that reason is genuinely smart. But the air purifying side of aloe is what most people miss entirely. It filters formaldehyde and benzene from the air, both of which are byproducts of chemical cleaners and paint that are present in almost every home.
And here's something genuinely fascinating. Aloe vera responds visibly to poor air quality. When harmful chemical levels rise above a certain threshold, the plant develops brown spots on its leaves. It's not diseased, it's signaling you. That's a living air quality monitor that also heals your skin and cleans your air. The gel packed inside those thick leaves contains over 75 active compounds, vitamins, enzymes, minerals, amino acids. It loves bright indirect light, rarely needs watering, and asks almost nothing of you. Put one on your kitchen windowsill and let it work. Number 4, peace lily. The peace lily is one of those plants that earns every single compliment it gets. It's elegant, it performs, and it does things that most houseplants simply can't. It targets ammonia, benzene, formaldehyde, and trichloroethylene, hitting 4 major indoor toxins in one plant. It naturally adds moisture to the air, increasing humidity by up to 5%, which helps with dry skin, dry sinuses, and the general discomfort of artificially heated spaces in winter. And research has documented something that should not be underestimated. Having a peace lily in a workspace measurably reduces stress and anxiety levels. This isn't anecdotal, it's been studied. The plant has a calming effect on the people around it. It also communicates with you in the most straightforward way possible. When it needs water, the leaves droop slightly. You water it, and within a couple of hours, it stands perfectly upright again. It's practically foolproof. For adult spaces, a home office, a bedroom, or reading room, the peace lily is close to ideal. Just keep it away from pets and small children, as it is toxic if ingested. Number 3, rosemary. Third place on this countdown belongs to a plant that most people walk right past in the herbs section without realizing what it's actually capable of. Yes, rosemary is a cooking herb. Fresh rosemary in your kitchen is a wonderful thing. But the cognitive research on rosemary goes far beyond the kitchen. Studies have found that breathing in the aroma of rosemary, not consuming it, simply being near it, improves memory retention, sharpens concentration, and meaningfully boosts cognitive performance. There's a compound in rosemary called 1,8-cineol that directly influences brain function. One study had participants complete memory tests in a room scented with rosemary aroma,
Their scores were significantly higher than the control group. Significantly. If you work from home, if you study, if you feel mentally foggy and can't quite find your focus, put a rosemary plant where you spend your working hours. Brush your hand against it as you walk past. Release that scent into the air. It is one of the most underrated cognitive tools available to you, and it costs a few dollars at any garden center. It needs good sunlight and doesn't like wet roots, but beyond that, it's an easy, rewarding plant to grow.
Number 2, lavender. We're down to the final 2, and number 2 is for everyone who has a complicated relationship with sleep. Lavender is not just a nice scent. The research behind it is serious and consistent. Studies have shown that exposure to lavender aroma lowers heart rate, reduces blood pressure, decreases anxiety, and measurably improves both the quality and depth of sleep. The mechanism is real. Lavender compounds interact with the nervous system in a way that promotes calm and signals the brain to shift into rest mode. There's a study published in peer-reviewed literature showing that lavender actually alters brainwave patterns to support relaxation. That is pharmaceutical-level impact from a plant. Growing lavender indoors does require commitment. It wants at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight, so a south-facing window is the ideal placement. But if your bedroom has that, or even if you're willing to move a pot from a sunny window to your nightstand each evening, the sleep benefits are extraordinary. For anyone dealing with insomnia, restlessness, racing thoughts at night, or anxiety, lavender is not a suggestion. It belongs in your bedroom, tonight if possible. And number 1, the snake plant. There was never any other plant for this spot. The snake plant, sometimes called mother-in-law's tongue, is the single most powerful, most versatile, and most accessible health plant on this entire list. And here is what puts it in a category of its own. While almost every other plant on Earth photosynthesizes during the day and goes dormant at night, the snake plant does the opposite. It converts carbon dioxide into oxygen at night, which means while you are sleeping, this plant is actively refreshing the air in your bedroom. NASA's Clean Air study confirmed that snake plants remove formaldehyde, xylene, toluene, and nitrogen oxides from the air, chemicals that are present in most homes through cleaning products, furniture, carpeting, and building. You are breathing these chemicals every night. The snake plant is one of the few living things that can pull them out of your air while you rest. And despite all of that, despite being one of the most capable air purifiers on the planet, the snake plant is also the most forgiving. It tolerates low light. It survives weeks without water. It doesn't need attention, doesn't need fussing over, and doesn't need a green thumb. It just quietly, consistently does its job. Put one in your bedroom, not somewhere else, your bedroom, where you spend a third of your entire life, where your body does its deepest healing, where the quality of air directly affects the quality of your recovery every single night. One snake plant on your dresser or nightstand is not decoration, it is a health decision. So there it is, 15 plants counted down from the useful to the extraordinary. And now I want to give you one challenge before you close this video. Don't try to get all 15 at once. Just pick 2 or 3 that match your biggest pain point right now. Can't sleep? Lavender and snake plant. Allergies ruining your life? English ivy and spider plant. Brain foggy and unfocused at work? Rosemary and pothos. Start there. Give it 30 days. Pay attention to how you feel, how you sleep, how you breathe, how your mornings feel. I genuinely believe you'll be surprised. Your home should support your health, not quietly undermine it. And the beautiful thing about plants is that fixing this doesn't require an expensive air purifier or a renovation. It requires a trip to your local garden center and a bit of intention. That's it. You have the knowledge now. Use it. Before you go, if this countdown gave you something real today, pay it forward with a like. It takes 1 second and it means everything for getting this in front of people who need it. If you're not subscribed yet, join the community. We do this every single week. Real science, real benefits, no filler. Now, scroll down to the comments and tell me, what's your number 1? Which plant from this list are you going home with first? I want to know. Drop it below and let's talk. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.